Helping Hands Short Stories with Arcelie. Real stories, real homes.
Hi, I'm Arcelie. Welcome back to Helping Hands Short Stories. Today's story is personal, and it's also one of the hardest things to talk about. It's about what happens when life changes overnight. When you suddenly become a single parent, whether through divorce or the sudden loss of a partner or co-parent. This is one of the hardest things a person can face because you're not just dealing with grief, you're also dealing with financial pressure and, most importantly, your children. When you're building a life with someone, you don't plan for it to fall apart. You don't think about divorce. You don't imagine losing your co-parent in a horrifying accident. But sometimes that's what happens. And when it does, you're not only left with emotional pain, you're also left with bills, legal issues, and most importantly, the responsibility of your children. I've lived this. In 2017, I went through a divorce. And in 2020, my ex-husband passed away suddenly in an accident. Overnight, I was a single parent with my son depending fully on me. I had to deal with grief. I had to deal with finances. I had to deal with raising my child alone. And at the same time, life then paused. The mortgage still had to be paid. The lights still had to stay on. And there's no manual for how to do it all. When a co-parent suddenly passes away, you face a double layer of crisis. First, the emotional grief shakes your world, shakes your children's world. You're trying to be strong for them while inside you're breaking. Second, the financial shock. If your co-parent was part of the household income, that income is gone instantly. And now, you're left carrying everything alone. And here's what it makes even harder. Most people don't have everything in order. The mortgage may only be in one name. The title may not even be updated. And there may not be a will, which means now you're facing something called probate. Probate sounds complicated, but let's make it simple. Probate is legal process for transferring property after someone dies. If the house was in your spouse or ex name, you can't just sell or refinance right away. The court has to step in first. Here's the difference. Regular probate is long and formal. It involves lawyers, court hearings, and can take years, especially for large estates. It's costly, stressful, and drawn out. Short probate, sometimes called summary probate, is a simplified version for smaller estates. It saves time and money. Most states allow this procedure if the estate value is under a certain limit. In Arizona, for example, we have something called the small estate affidavit. It lets inheritors skip probate altogether if the estate qualifies. Here's how it works. You wait the required period. You sign and notarize an affidavit. You attach the death certificate and the property details. You present it to the bank, title company, or institution. And just like that, the asset can be transferred without a long court case. So here's the simple way to think of it. Regular probate equals long, expensive, stressful. Short probate equals faster, cheaper, available for small estates. When you're grieving, short probate can be a lifeline. It prevents years of court battles and let you focus on healing and taking care of your kids. Consult with an attorney with this process. So what can you do if you suddenly find yourself as a single parent responsible for the home? Option 1, loan modification. If your hardship is tied to divorce or death, some lenders may adjust your payment or extend the loan. Always ask. You won't know unless you try. Option 2, refinance in your name. If your income and credit can support it, you may be able to remove your ex-spouse or late spouse name and make the loan fully yours. Talk with a mortgage professional about this option. Option 3, sell the home. This is not a failure. Sometimes selling the home is the smartest way to reset your finances and focus on your kids. Your children need stability. That doesn't always mean keeping the same house. Option 4, short sale or deed in lieu. If the house is underwater and payments are impossible, these allow you to exit without foreclosure. But remember, all owners must agree. If probate is still ongoing, that step has to finish first. Option 5, foreclosure. Last resort. Foreclosure is always the last choice. It can damage your credit for years. It removes your control, and it adds stress on top of grief. What if your spouse passed and the mortgage wasn't in your name? That's where probate comes in. You'll need legal help to transfer ownership before the bank will talk to you. What if you're recently divorced and you're stuck with a mortgage you can't afford a loan? That's when you look at refinance, sell, or negotiate with your lender now, not later. What if you want to keep the house for the kids, but you're drowning financially? I always tell people, the house is a building. Your kids need you, not granite countertops. Sometimes the brave choice is selling so you can build a stronger future for them elsewhere. This story is heavy, but it's real. And it's a reality so many families quietly face. Becoming a single parent overnight is overwhelming. You're grieving, you're caring for children who are grieving too. And at the same time, you're trying to manage a home and a mortgage that wasn't designed for one income. Here's what I want you to remember. You do have options. You're not alone. And the earlier you take action, the more control you have over your future. If this feels like your story, please reach out. 480-878-0004. Together we can figure this out. And please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next story. Thanks for watching Helping Hands Short Stories with Arcelie. Real stories, real homes. Remember, every situation is different. This is not legal or financial advice, so please speak with a licensed professional about your unique circumstances.